From the moment Mighty Morphin Power Rangers hit my screen and the Megazord appeared, I was pretty hooked with the idea of these Zords coming together to form these giant robots because I loved Voltron as a kid. And these guys and other robots from a trip to Italy in 1986, like God Sigma. I love the idea of other robots coming together to form a giant robot. It was just such a cool concept, and to see a live action version of it was amazing. I wasn't privy to the Super Sentai stuff. I didn't know about it when I was younger, so the Power Ranger stuff worked, and it worked for a long time, and it still works for me today. And when Bandai America announced they were doing the Power Rangers Legacy line, and it was going to be Megazord Build-A-Figures, I knew I really needed to have Megazords that were articulated, playable in this size scale. I love the idea. They're about 7 inches tall or so, and I just really love that, and I had to get them all, which you're seeing here. I do have, so very, very cool. I think it was a really cool concept. The execution, leaves a little bit to be desired all around, but there's no denying that these guys aren't going anywhere. I'm really happy to have them in my collection, and since it's over now, it's definitely time to look back and decide which were the top 5 Build-A-Figure Megazords in my collection. And number 5, we're going to start out with the MMPR Megazord Illusion itself. It's a cool piece, and not the first Megazord that we completed, and it took a while, but it was probably the most anticipated one, definitely the most popular. Am I out of line for saying that? The first one's usually the most popular, it's just that these proportions look a little odd on this particular Megazord itself, but it isn't bad. It isn't bad. The thing that is bad, though, is this. Super floppy, and that's the way they did these joints at the knees. It just didn't work well, but, paint aside, and that's gonna be, throughout this list, and, if you've seen any of my Megazord reviews, that's basically what I've said, is the paint could have been more on all of these, but I still do like them. He's got an okay range of articulation, and he looks kind of cool. It works as the MMPR Megazord when it does that. But for nostalgia's sake, he had to be on this list. Number 4 is the Megazord again. What a cop-out! But this is the black and gold colored one. And I really dig these colors. Now, still super floppy, maybe even more so, and that's unfortunate because this guy cost me an arm and a leg because this was a Power Morphicon exclusive. I believe it was a Power Morphicon exclusive, maybe it was SDCC. I think it was Power Morphicon. And I had to get it on eBay. I mean, there was ones that sold for more than this one, but it was still a pretty penny, and for that reason, and the floppiness, it kind of bothers me, but it looks great. It looks fantastic in these colors. This mold just looks so much better like this. I just really, really dig it. It turned out great, and it's really hard to see there, but I do dig it, enough that I could say I liked it better than the regular MMPR one, as well as a regular, more than a couple other Megazords that didn't make this list. The Power Rangers in Space Megazord has always been a cool one to me. Definitely a little bit different than the rest, and very, very cool, very just awesome Japanese super robot-y. I always loved it, and this one, he's a little floppy, but he's not as bad, and he just turned out fantastic. I really think this one is amazing. The paint is actually pretty good. There's enough paint on here where I am not, looking down on it, I mean, if you just look straight down the center, you have a lot of different paint applications there. And he just looks cool. He's ready to fight with his fists, and this is just a good hammering Megazord. And I don't know, it just turned out great. I always love this color scheme, nice and simple. And I'm glad this guy turned out fantastic because I didn't have one. He's the only one of these that I actually have. So yeah, this is cool stuff. Number 3 is the just completed Dino Thunder Megazord. If you saw my review, I was debating whether or not this was my favorite one or not. But you know, close second. The thing that keeps him away is, you know, kind of a little messed up paint here and there, but you know, and not that much paint, but like he's cool looking. Like, I love this dude's proportions. I mean, he looks incredible to me. Love it. I think everything, you know, has character. All the faces of the Megazords, well, at least these 3, you know, that's the 3. Just look good. You know, I think they all turned out great, you know, and it just looks cool. Again, more paint would have been nice, and his head sculpt is really phenomenal, honestly. It's the last one, so it definitely has a thing, but he's not floppy at all, and he just looks amazing, and he could pose in a variety of ways, which is very, very cool. So love the Dino Thunder Megazord. But I gave number 1 to a controversial Megazord indeed. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The Power Rangers, the movie Megazord. And I think this one, without a doubt, turned out the best out of all of them. Definitely has the most paint. It feels more premium in a way. And I dig that. There was another version of this. I believe there was another version of this. It was more painted for SDCC. But I do not have that one. That's like the only one of these I believe I don't have. I can't remember if there was a SDCC special one of this. I don't think there was, but I'm pretty sure there was one of this where there was a little more paint on it. Never got that one, and I don't know, I just didn't feel the need for it because this one turned out really well. I have this dude in like a few different forms, and this was by far my favorite. He's very, very solid. He looks amazing. Again, the paint is cool. There's metallic paint on it and stuff. He's got wings, which I loved. Again, you know, being that this was supposed to be, you know, the new version of this, it was kind of a tough pill for a lot of folks to swallow. It just looked odd. But on its own, I mean, it's just cool. I love it. Yes, it's more humanoid, you know, but can you deny its coolness? I don't know. I mean, I think it's just, I mean, you can. That's fine. But I cannot. I think it's fantastic, and out of all of these guys here that they produced, I feel like, and maybe it's because it's more like a regular figure, I feel like this was definitely the coolest looking one. And there you have it, my zillions. That was my top 5 Build-A-Figure Megazords from the Power Rangers Legacy line. It was a fun line to collect, no doubt. You know, it had some ups, it had some downs, but we got some cool Megazords here, in my opinion. And I don't know. I dug it overall. It was worth it for me. Definitely worth it for me. Was it worth it for you? What do you think about that? What was your thoughts on it? Did you get the line? Which was your favorite Megazords here? Did you like the other ones that I didn't pick? The Zeo Megazord or the Ninja Storm Megazord? Let me know your thoughts. Did you like those better than these? That's cool. If you did, let me know below. Alright guys, thanks for watching this top 5. Till next time. Peace out, peeps.